Alright, here we are. This is Final Fantasy VIII. Probably one of my all-time favorite video games developed by Square back in '99. This was their second game of the Final Fantasy series that was 3D. Obviously, the first one was Final Fantasy VII, which is still considered to be the most popular Final Fantasy game ever. I'm just going to do a Let's Play of this. I haven't actually beaten this game. Got to, I think, the beginning of Disc 4, the end of Disc 3, somewhere around there. A lot of people, well, most people either love this game or they hate this game. That's partially due to the leveling system and the junctioning system. It has some kind of newer concepts for Final Fantasy games at this point, especially a lot of players that were used to the Final Fantasy VII gameplay, where it was more focused on leveling up, grinding, and whatnot. This one is a bit more about speccing out your character with different magics and different junctions and all that. I'll get to that when we do. One of the reasons why I absolutely love this game is the cinematics and the music in this game are absolutely amazing, especially for what it is at its time. I mean, you'll see it once we actually get to them, but absolutely awesome cutscenes and cinematics in this game. Really fun gameplay. You can make it as hard as you want it to be, or if you know some tricks, you can make it a very, very easy game for you. I'll be showing you guys the easy way for this, but I guess you'll figure out what the easy way is. So yeah, here we go. This is the opening cinematic we're going to get to right here. So enjoy. Alright, so there you have it. It's our first little viewing of Final Fantasy VIII. Like I said, this game was made in '99, nearly a decade and a half ago. So I mean, seeing that back then was like totally astounding. I absolutely loved that intro when I was a kid. I used to play this all the time. My sister and I actually, and yeah, it was a blast of a game. Loved it, still love it. So yeah, the main character's name is Squall. I do apologize if I mispronounce character names or creature names or names in general. Some of them are a bit out there, you could say. Cypher, he was that dude in the white trench coat that you were fighting in that cutscene there. He's kind of your rival, kind of a really big-headed guy, but we'll get to that later. So yeah. And there's Quistis, I do believe is how it's pronounced, and she's kind of your instructor. Well, she is your instructor. So yeah, I mean, you're just injured from your battle or whatnot. She's sighing at you for, you know, getting whooped up on by Cypher. Yeah, you're in training to become what is called a seed. I always forget what seed stands for, or if it stands for anything. Which is essentially your group of mercenaries, and you work for Gardens. Gardens is the building you're in. You'll see a picture of it in just a moment here. It's pretty much the base of operations for different seed groups. And so yeah, generally speaking, even though you are mercenaries, you tend to stay on the side of being good mercenaries. I mean, I always love this transition right there. Switch from in-game graphics to the cinematics. And yeah, that is the garden right there. There are many other gardens based all throughout the game. You get to them, there's tons of different stuff you can do in them. Most of which I won't be showing you guys till later. And woohoo, we're in class. And basically later on in the day, you're going out for your actual seed exam, and that will give you your overall seed ranking. And essentially what seed rankings do is you get a certain amount of money every so often. Depending on what your ranking is, there's ways to increase it and decrease it later on in the game. Pretty much it's something you want to have higher because you get more money, obviously. Money's a good thing. Alright, coolio. Better show some courtesy. And yeah, I have to go to the fire cavern. I guess it's kind of a mini test before my seed test. So yeah, we are going to get going to the fire cavern. If you want to, at this point, you can also go back to the seat that we were just chilling in, and you can access the computer or the study panel, as they put it. And there's a few things you learn about the garden and about the way battles work and all that fun stuff. If you have, I mean, you can look at that as pertaining to the garden. There's some good information in there, but if you're pretty familiar with how RPGs work, don't really waste your time on that. I mean, it's not essential. That right there is Sophie, I do believe is her name, and you can decide to give her a tour, which pretty much is giving you a tour of the garden, which you don't really need to do. We'll get to that point when we get there. this guy right here, well, in this game, rather, there is a card game called Triple Triad, and it pretty much, there's a ton of stuff that ties into it. You can earn cards, and you can turn cards into items, and then you can turn those items into certain high-level magic abilities. We'll get into that stuff in a couple episodes, how it all works. So this guy will give us our first 7 cards, which is pretty nice. Nice little starter pack or whatnot. Most people in this game you can duel. You just walk up to them and press square, and that will prompt you to duel them if they want to. Let's see. Saving. This is a save point. They are your friends. Use them often. My first time actually recording this, that was that save there. Oh well. I forgot to save, and I didn't save the whole game. I was probably about 2 hours in. I don't know, maybe less than that. Felt like 2 hours anyway. And I wound up losing one of my very powerful cards, which makes the game a lot harder, especially this early in the game, to lose a powerful card, which I'll show you what that is in a bit. So then I kind of raged a little bit and decided to start over again. I mean, luckily enough, when I actually went to review the footage, the audio was way off and all of this fun junk, so yeah, it's whatever. I mean, I guess the second time I'll be a bit polished. Now, Quistis is going to tell us about Guardian Forces, or GFs as they call them in this game. They're essentially your basic summons. In battle summons, they also, whoopsies. They also have abilities that they can learn, abilities that will give your characters passive abilities. Like, I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff. They're very, very useful. I won't use them in combat too much. I'll at least show you once how it is, because they do have really cool battle animations. But yeah, this is Quetzalcoatl, or Quetzalcoatl. I always throw in an extra K in there, but so pardon me if I messed that up. Essentially, that's the Guardian Force. It's a lightning element, and then we have Shiva, which is going to be our ice or our water element, and she's going to essentially give us a tutorial on how to junction GFs and all that fun stuff, and we're just going to skip through all of those because we don't need them. Let's see. Alright, we're going to go into our menu. I'll explain how to junction a GF. Just go to the junction menu, top right here. Click on your character. We'll do Squall first. Junction, GF, and you can choose Shiva or Quetzalcoatl. I'm going to do Quetzalcoatl for Squall. And then it'll automatically bring up the ability menu once you try to back out. And we will do magic. Magic, draw an item, and essentially these are what your in-game combat menu is going to look like. So you have your attack, magic, draw an item. We'll do the same thing for Quistis. GF Shiva, ability, magic, draw item. The GF ability actually will summon the GF in battle. And I'll show you that actually when we get into the fire cavern on the boss there. So we are going to go ahead and head out to the field, and we're just going to work on some something called drawing, another fairly unique concept, or whatever you want to call it, part of this game. Magic spells aren't, they're not based on SP or spiritual points or mana or whatever you want to call it. They are based on the number of that magic. You can almost think of them as items that you have. We're just going to kill one of these lovely guys, and I'll explain how to draw. And that is how you gain magic from an enemy, actually. These guys are just going to have your basic fire. I want to say these are fire, thunder. Then right there I drew 2 fires from that guy. Yeah, sorry I didn't explain it. Go down to the draw menu, click the enemy, and then you can stock or cast. Stocking them will put them obviously in the stock so you can use them for later. Or casting, which is interesting, will allow you to immediately use them on a target in game. So go ahead and do that a little bit. Oh, and this is dead, 1 hit. So that's kind of how you, well, pretty much how you draw. There's also, I want to say, at least one that I remember off the top of my head, a guardian force that you actually draw from a boss, which is something I probably missed in my first, I don't know, very large number of playthroughs. I didn't know that that was there, so I always missed a guardian force, which is sad. We're just going to switch the configuration to cursor to memory. That'll just make drawings magic from an enemy much quicker. We're also going to increase the battle speeds and all that for now. Right now, since we're just fighting normal guys, we don't really have to worry about taking the time and slowing down the battle speed to find out exactly what we need. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and sit here for a little bit and draw up to 100 fires and 100 scans for both characters. So yeah, I'll probably be cutting out a lot of the grinding, so you can say, in this game. So yeah. Another key point. One reason why people don't like Final Fantasy VIII is the fact that the more you level up, the harder the game gets. So I think you start at level 7 or 8. So if it were to be possible to get through the entire game at level 7, which it isn't, but if you could, the entire game would be incredibly easy for you. Meanwhile, if you leveled up to 99, you would have one heck of a hard time, beating the game, because the monsters actually level up with you, except for their stats grow high, their stat growth, I guess you could say, is a bit faster than ours is. So that's what I got for you for now. I'm gonna skip the video here, so you don't have to watch me sit here and draw all of these fires. And all we're going to do after I get the fires is we're going to switch to stocking scan. So I will see you guys in just a minute.